Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Along This Spiritual Journey. So, something that I wanted to talk about is pattern recognition when it comes to body language, behaviors, tone, thought processes, emotional outbreaks, intelligence, reactions, all of the above. These things are going to be around you every day. They're going to be a part of your everyday existence. As we as humans, we have our functional self, our spiritual self, our emotional self, our logical self, our all of these things fall back into patterns of imprinting, learning, recognition, so on and so forth. What I want people to remember is this, again, is a tool, not an absolute. There's going to be a ton of patterns that make sense, that they add up to a certain byproduct or outcome. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be that outcome and answer every time, because as we evolve and understand that every pattern has a source, and if we find the source and replicate this or reintegrate it or pay attention to how it uses many ways to regenerate itself, we'll start recognizing that a pattern is simply saying, this is forethought. This is you saying, I see that something either aligns with me or doesn't. All pattern doesn't mean that it's going to have the same outcome. Again, I talked about probability before. Just because it looks that way doesn't mean it's always going to happen that way. And just because it looks that way and it was built that way doesn't necessarily mean it won't work that way. These are all parts of the human experience. It's all part of trial and error. So when we get comfortable, let's say, for example, I was watching that show, Are You Ready for Love? And there was some guy and he was riding the bike with the girl and she she's put together, whatever, and he probably has the money, whatever. So here you go right there. You have that energy of that distortedness where he believes because he has a pattern of meeting a type of person like this or meeting a type of female like this, that they all must be this way. And then instead of allowing himself to break the pattern, he integrates it into his own psyche and then perpetuates the stereotype even more, and then loses the opportunity of getting to know someone because he's assuming that because, again, there's a lot of people who wear a lot of uniforms. It doesn't mean that they match the job, okay? I know that it's not fair to some people where they're like, well, why are they wearing the uniform? That's just how life goes. We're going to put on a lot of different hats and caps and try to fit the space. Doesn't mean that it's our place. So understanding pattern recognition lets you know where you fit. It lets you know where you actually belong. So pay attention to, again, the type of energies that you attract to yourself, because more than likely you'll replicate a pattern of you that's calling them in. Love ya.